Chapter 14. Battle for the Other Side. The griffin statue on the right made a grinding noise as its jaws began to open wide. The thundering male voice returned. "You have fulfilled the first quest. The second task will not be easy. It will be dangerous. Only the bravest accept this mission." "As a group or individual?" Isaac inquired. "Neither. The task will be double as more join. Are you ready to hear the next requirement?" Yes, Simone was determined. The ground rumbled for 5 minutes. Stone toppled down to the grass and entrance. The statue had crumbled, and in its place was a fierce beast with yellow eagle's claws. The beast had brown feathers down its back and chest. The creature had a lion's face and backside. It roared into the sky, causing another quake. During the uproar, Zayak dropped the golden key somewhere on the cement below. He heard the sound of metal smacking pavement, but his focus lingered elsewhere. The group fought to keep balance. Isaac spread his legs and hands to retain his stance. He then drew his sword. "What is the challenge?" Simone demanded, clinging onto the mountainous castle gate. "To defeat me. If you choose to accept, then you must choose the combatant. If you choose to fight as a group, then my partner will awaken and join the battle. Do choose wisely." "Okay, guys. What do you want to do?" Simone asked. "Well, mates, who wants to go home the most?" Isaac surveyed. "I think I do, anyway. You two showed off the last time. I think it'd be my turn now. What do you say, Zayak?" Zayak felt his heart thudding in his chest after all the balancing. To Zayak, keeping a stance was tolling. He breathed deeply and begged, "I don't want to. I don't want to." Tears rolled down his cheeks. "Can't we just forget about Earth?" Simone gave Zayak a hug. "We traveled all this way. I don't want to give up so easily." As he spoke, Simone contemplated if his life's obligations were really that important. Maybe they should surrender and live there. Determined, Isaac stood up to the griffin. "If this be the only way, I'll tear brimstone and rubbish to attain my Berlin." He gathered cotton out of his pocket and kissed its forehead. "All right, little one. Zayak should babysit you now till I return." Surprised, Simone inhaled. "Are you sure you want to do this alone? I could help." Isaac turned to Simone. "I'm not the Pirate King for nothing, lads. I'm sure I have more combat experience in my pinky toe than you do in your whole being. Anyway, one-on-one is the best." Zayak walked over to Isaac and held out his hands to receive Cotton. Cotton appeared confused in Isaac's clutches as it watched Zayak approach. "I can't stand back and do nothing, man. It wouldn't be fair," implored Simone. "Cotton, you be good now." Isaac ignored Simone for a few seconds and took a deep breath. He let the air out slowly. "No, the more that joins the fight, the more griffins, and the more we have to worry about each other. Your minds won't be focused on the fight. It'll cause problems as I see it. Remember, what you imagine becomes reality here. If you don't have a handle on that, then you have another problem, mate. So all I ask is that you two believe in me. That goes for you as well, Cotton." He patted Cotton one last time. Simone looked over at Zayak, bewildered. He placed a hand on Isaac's shoulder. "You better not die on us, man." Zayak scooped Cotton into his arms as he listened to the men. Zayak's right hand cupped under Cotton's diaper, and his other hand cradled its backside. Cotton curled its tail between its paws and stared at Zayak. Zayak nodded. "He's right, Simone." "Right then." Isaac took another deep breath and let it out slowly. "I have no doubt in my mind whatsoever. Love conquers all, they say." Isaac gave Zayak a wink before he approached the griffin with his sword drawn. The griffin stood boldly with his chest protruding. "Have you decided?" "Indeed we have." Isaac bowed to the griffin. "A one-on-one battle, I versus you." Isaac imagined himself with a second sword, and then transformed his two swords into long swords. Inspired by Zayak, he gave himself 2 wings of an eagle for flight. Out of nowhere the griffin roared. A windstorm whipped across the field of grass. The force of the wind pushed on Isaac like a wall. Bloody demon, want to fight dirty, do you? I command the wind to turn into a tornado and sweep you up to the heavens." Isaac slid one sword into its sheath and held out his hand to command the wind. Meanwhile, Zayach hurried towards the garden with Cotton in his arms. The wind swept him up and threw him into a patch of flowers. He protected Cotton with his forearm. Zayach glanced around for Simone. Simone ran after Zayach. "Zayach, stay near the wall." At that moment, Simone too was thrown. He found himself near the edge of the cliff. "Zayach!" Simone searched around frantically, clinging to a boulder. The wind continued to push hard into Isaac's hand. It felt like it could push hard enough to bend his fingers backward. The Griffin stood below in the same spot, watching his opponent above. "It is my thought control over yours," the deep voice whispered through the fury. "I won't let it, you beast. You have no control over me." With that anger, he spun his way down and drew both swords. He urged to drive one into the beast's chest. The creature leaped to the side and rolled. It wheeled around, spraying dirt and grass with its claws. The Griffin growled, "You think I can't overpower you?" Missing his goal, Isaac stumbled and twisted forward in perfect balance with his swords out. He rose back to his feet. "Indeed, I believe you can't touch me, let alone hurt me. I'm invincible." Isaac had a smug grin on his face. To him, this place was no more different than a dream. He knew in dreams you can do anything. "Let's test that belief, shall we?" the Griffin invited with his talons. "Certainly, let us. What if I was the same size as you?" Isaac taunted. His wounds vanished. He rose up as a giant. Isaac appeared the same size as the Griffin. "I don't think you can handle something your own size." The Griffin stepped back for a few moments. Was there a slight hint of fear in the feline's eyes? The creature shook. "His feathers. No matter." The Griffin charged with its wings out and claws slashing. Isaac swung his swords, morphing them into a flaming magma. The magma would hurt his enemy, but not himself. His mind was so focused on battle he forgot that his friends lied below. Isaac dual swung his swords. He whipped left and right at his enemy. With each thrust, clang brimstone and flame, it rained to the land. Panicked, Simone leaped over rocks and debris to Zayach's side. "We need to find shelter. It's so fierce we could meet our end. Our best bet is back in that wall." Zayach sat up in the flower patch and witnessed flash after flash. He heard flesh against metal. Wasting no more time, Zayach rushed to the cement dome. He never stopped to think as he jetted up the stone wall. Simone witnessed Zayach's cat-like maneuvers. Simone leaped into the well after Zayach. He clung to the side and glanced down. "You okay, Zayach?" Zayach breathed hard and skidded his way down. He heard Simone's voice. "Simone, thank goodness you're okay. I'm fine, just rattled." Zayach had Cotton tucked under his shoulder. It smiled in the dark. Everything was difficult to perceive in the darkness of the well. Everyone could barely make out each other's faces. "I'm glad," heaved Simone. "You know, I was wrong about Isaac. He's not a coward at all. I really hope he wins this fight. No, I mean I know he'll win this fight." Simone glanced toward Zayach and Cotton. He decided to illuminate the room with a ball of light. "Zayach, I have an idea. If we both work together, Isaac can't lose. We'll use our thoughts to help him win." "I think that'll tip the scales in our favor, don't you think?" "You might be right. Let's meditate about Isaac's victory," Zayach said before he sat against the corner of the room. He crossed his legs and closed his eyes. Simone parked across from Zayach, crossing his legs and closed his eyes as well. Simone reached his hands out to hold Zayach's. "Cotton, Looney, you both can join us." Looney, determined to join in, wished Isaac luck. Cotton, however, was oblivious. Above ground, the Griffin's swipe clattered against the metal of Isaac's sword. "Give in," the Griffin demanded. "Never!" Isaac shoved the Griffin. Out of the blue, Isaac felt a surge pulse through him. His body rose above the Griffin, his eyes and body lit with white light. Inside his body, the power felt unimaginable. Both his weapons united to rear a single flame that ignited to the heavens. The Griffin's eyes reflected the flame. The beast's ear slid back and it opened its wings. The creature thought it could make a quick flight to avoid the impending blow. With one quick slice of the blade, the fire came down upon the Griffin. With the intense heat, the Griffin exploded into sand and shards of glass, scattering across the island in the explosion. Dust swirled around and settled in the midst of Isaac. Deep in the well, the room rumbled. Zayak's eyes burst open. "Did you hear that?" "Yes, everything went silent now," Simone wondered. "Do you think it's over?" On land, Isaac breathed in deep. "Incredible." Slowly he released the breath with an accomplished smile. Isaac returned to normal size and went to find the others. Guys, I did it!" He came galloping to the courtyard and scanned around. Isaac finally found Zayak floating out of the well with Cotton. Zayak came out to see what had happened when he heard Isaac. "That's great," Zayak said. "I'm glad that explosion wasn't you." During the conversation, Simone followed Zayak out of the well. "I take it you won," Zayak congratulated as he patted Isaac with his free hand. Isaac wore a proud grin on his face and folded his arms to pose. "That's right, mates. I sure did. I think we can finally go to the other side now. Who has the key?" Simone interrupted with the remark, "Great work, Isaac. I need to apologize. Earlier, during our quest for the key, I thought you were a coward for not joining us in the well." Simone's gaze fell. He fidgeted with the dirt by his foot. Zayak's skin flushed white. "I dropped the key." As Zayak made his announcement, Isaac broadened his shoulders and sneered at Simone. "You thought me a coward?" Finally, Isaac cracked and laughed. "Shows how well you knew me. No worries, mate. I forgive you." "I'm glad. No hard feelings." Simone gleamed with relief. "Guys, I said I dropped the key during that earthquake near the gate before the battle," Zayak shouted. "Blimey, we need to find it." "Come on now, retrace your steps," demanded Isaac. "It had to be at the front of the gate," Zayak assured the group as they made their way up the sidewalk towards the entrance. Near the gate remained only one statue, and it appeared lifeless. Enduringly, Zayak and his group approached the portcullis. "I wonder what this bloke is going to do without his mate," Isaac gestured to the remaining Griffin. "I don't see it along the path we took," Simone continued, probing. "I think that bloke, as you call him, is going to be lonely." Cotton fluttered away from Zayak's shoulder and landed on the cement before the doorway. Cotton poked a golden object with its foot. The object rested on the concrete. Zayak cheered. "Here it is. I think I found it." "Woohoo!" Simone applauded. "This is great." His gaze fell to the black gate's huge door and the lock that hung a story high. "Gee, I think you need to be a giant to use that key, Zayak." The black fence had overlaid the door rilled. The door was free to tamper with. The group saw the lock hang from the door's panel. It was ready to be picked. Laughing, Isaac snatched the key. "Stand back now, mates. I'll show you a giant." Isaac grew to just the right height and inserted the key. He turned it. The locket dropped and the door creaked open. A bright light beamed through the crack of the doorway. Stepping forward, Zayak asked, "Are we ready?" Isaac regained his normal height. Simultaneously, Simone and Isaac answered, "I'm ready." They looked at each other and nodded. Simone laughed. "I really like you, Isaac. I think you taught me a lot. Let's push this door all the way open, and then look at the map." Simone and Isaac's help propelled the door open. Inside the palace inhabited a new frontier. Purple skies cascaded overhead with rolling galaxies. Pyramids stretched to the skies in the background. Peach-colored sand swept with the wind. Zayak shivered as he felt the cool wind on his cheeks. An icy desert world it appeared to be. Looney commented, "This is it, guys. Welcome to the other side." Zayak sighed and stepped into the sand dunes of the other side. He inhaled the chilly desert air. It felt dry and relaxing. The galaxies beyond were shiny. He thought they were more beautiful than an average starry night. A globe in the sky stood out to the group. A planet hung in the air and rotated by. It was a strange sky indeed.